brotherly love.
But I don't think you've
500
had
years of democracy.
this
and
day
peace.
that I'm talking about, when you're really working hard and there's a crowd in front of you and you are not rocking them. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah. You have your ups and your downs as an artist or a DJ, and you end up in places and spaces where people are not feeling you. You get. For me personally, it's an emotional and psychological beatdown, big time. Yeah. But when I think back, I'm actually thinking, this promoter didn't do his research. We were actually having this conversation last week with some of the guys in the crew talking about this scenario as well.
Yeah.
I was like, gee whiz, man, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking now there's quite a few interesting places that I've been to where people just didn't film me whatsoever. They didn't care about the Ready D hype and the profile and all this. People want what they want, you know. I'm also thinking, man, no, that was like the promoter's shortcoming, you know. And understand why they would do something like that. Everybody needs to make a buck. So here comes this this personality that's got this huge profile, and they're just expecting everybody to take to this person or this artist or the DJ, whatever. Yeah, but it's bad, man. And then I have moments that I perform, and for me it was the ultimate crash and burn scenario. So now I'm going back and I'm sitting in my hotel and I'm thinking to myself, you idiot. Why? Idiot, why did you do that? And I'm beating myself up. And then tomorrow the emails come in on social media, yo, my brother, that was the dopest set ever. And I'm going like, but nobody was dancing. People were just staring at me like, what the hell was that all about? You know, normally my sets are high energy sets, you know, that really gets the crowds going. I'm thinking, but why didn't they just move? And part of me was like, okay, maybe the way people respond in certain places are very different. You know, so Cape Town audience in certain cases will move, or the energy levels will be different to a crowd in Joburg versus a crowd in Durban. And some people appreciate what you do, but they just can't figure it out. So, you know, they'll dance and they are listening and they're trying to watch what's going on because there's a lot of things happening with the hands and the music. So sometimes I have to actually, I have to actually sort myself out from a psychological standpoint and try and make sense of it all. And then there's days where the crowds just freaking go through the roof and you feel the energy and you're like, holy Lord, what just happened now? I had this out-of-body experience scenario.
It's a good feeling, eh?
And one of the most recent events was also crash and burn scenario, but I managed to come back. I did this routine where I jump onto the table and I pick up the deck and I'm scratching with a deck in my hand. And it just so happened at this event, a huge corporate event at Shirley Beach Club, I'll never forget it. I jump on the table and as I get up, the cables are too short. The engineers didn't pull the cables to give it enough and the deck falls out of my hand and I'm trying to catch the deck and it falls. And the track's playing DMX Party Up because that's where I do my routine on. So thankfully I think the song was hyped. Some of the people were too hyped to notice what was going on. But anyway, I pick up the deck and I flip it around and the universe was with me. The sound effect that I'm scratching was on the right place that I needed to be so I could actually finish my routine. Like next time if I do that performance, I'll personally make sure that I pull the cables.
Make sure that you've got...
everything's taped up and everything's where they need to be in order for me not to go through that again. But it's hard, man. On both ends, you know, if you have the scenario where you have to introduce yourself to a new crowd, I know DJ struggle. And if you are on that high as well, you know, it's hard because when you get to the next venue and you're uncertain how the crowd's going to react, because of course you want to build on what you've done previously. And if it don't go according to plan, then once again, you know, it's emotional and it's psychological. But not to say that every DJ is like that. You know, some DJs operate on a different frequency.
Of course.
And that's their high. You know, some people will operate like on a very low, slow tempoed frequency, and that's their high, you know. So I think we all fit in differently into the spectrum of being these performers.
Sure, man. But that's interesting, eh? That's really interesting, because I never thought, maybe I'm looking at you from a fan point of view, because I am a fan.
Thank you so much.
I never thought that you had those days. Because wherever you were playing and I went, Jeez, it was banging. But on another note, my brother, motorsports.
Oh yeah.
You involved in motorsports. You involved in drifting. You were involved in spinning, correct? Or are you still? Or did you
I wouldn't say not. I wasn't involved. Yes, I would say I was involved with spinning, but not on a hardcore basis. Although I know a lot of guys that are spinners, like really good spinners, friends of mine, spinners that have become drifters, that became a part of our team as well. I've been a part of quite a lot of the spinning events as well, but I don't think I can be positioned as a person that spins. Yeah. And also when it comes to motorsport, yes, I've been involved with racing, drifting at the track level, but for me it was more a case of doing things from a development standpoint and also using my skills as a drifter and a stunt driver to drive our road safety initiative with youth, especially because we know they like fast cars, they like speed. We bring them onto the track, they get the opportunity to jump in the cars, to witness car control, we spin the cars out and all these things. And of course the message is, what do you think would have happened if what happened right now had to happen on a public road? So you can kind of draw your own conclusions as well.
And your wife, who drives better, you or your wife?
I would say I drive better in my own way, but who's more highly spirited on a scale of 1 to 10? I think I'll come in at 2 and she hits over the 10 mark.
Nice.
So when I sit with her in the car, I don't have a good time whatsoever. She freaks me out, like proper, she freaks me out. So to give you an idea, we spent 1 weekend going up to Kimberley to go and train at one of the best drifters racetrack. And all the drifters are up there from Cape Town. We made the trek, we took our cars and everything, and we out there doing our thing. He gets in with her, he jumps out, and the first thing he says is, "You are fearless." And I'm like, if this guy is telling her she's fearless and he's the most hardcore drifter that even participated in the highest level of drifting across the world, if he said that she's fearless, then you can imagine. Yeah, so there's no fear, there's nothing. So like on the track, when we come in the bottom bend on the oval on Killarney International Raceway, you at least got to come in at about, let's say maybe 60, 70 kilometers per hour, and that's the slow bend, that's the slow one. So yeah, I'll come in, I'll be very calculated about what I do and how I see the track and where I put this. And we ran 2 cars together where she was chasing me. I thought that I went in fast. Before you knew it, she was right on my tail, and I was like, no thank you, next run you're going on your own. I don't want to be involved with you on this track. And you can see it on the videos as well. If she comes in and I come in on the same bend doing the same thing, she's way more fired up than I am through there. So I think on that level,
no, you're blessed, because it's very rare that couples are involved in the same hobby. Let me put it per se, because normally the husband is doing his own thing in the garage and the wife is making sure that, you know, there's food when he comes out of the garage. You know, it's nice. It's nice that you can share an experience like with your partner. Yeah. No, I think you're very blessed.
Absolutely. I sure. You know, she's practically the conductor of my life. Yeah. She makes all the critical decisions, you know, period, done. And I think I was blessed because we grew up together as well. Nice. You know, we were involved at a young age. We had a kid at a young age. We got married at a young age. And we come out of hip hop culture as well. You know, as kids that were dancing on the streets, we went to the same club also, though she used to be with a different crew, with the sisters and the cousins, but she was one of the kids on the other side of the neighborhood practicing, you know, in the driveways and dancing on the streets on that end. So I think on that level, I think that's probably one of the bonding forces as well, you know. So yeah, absolutely, man. And every single day I'm grateful. I count my blessings to have a woman like that in my life, you know. And that's why I say, if she must tell me right now, pick up the phone and say, D, come back home, cancel everything, I won't even care. I won't even question it. It's done. Nice. And she's say, let's pack it up and call it a day. No questions. No question. Sell your turntables, move away, do whatever. I won't even ask her the question, because I think maybe on a philosophical / maybe spiritual level, I always tell people, I think that she and the Almighty, they are conspiring. He sent an angel in the form of a wife to watch over me and guide me. So that's why I won't question nothing, because if it weren't for her, so many decisions that I could have potentially have made or that I wanted to do would have landed me in so much trouble, throughout my lifetime with her. And that's why, no questions.
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely.
The last one, my man, before we wrap up, you're a dog person.
Oh yeah.
Right? How many dogs you've got now?
Wow. I only have 2 though. I had an unfortunate situation with 2. For the first time now I'm living with a pit bull. He came in as a baby. I didn't understand pit bull behavior or characteristics. Yes, we brought in the dog trainer, but the trainer said it's not really the dog that needs training, it's you, the owners, that need the training as well. So I was living in bliss with a Rottweiler with a Yorkie, and then we brought in a what is this dog? I think it was the Bull Mastiff. We had her. Unfortunately, she didn't last long. She had seizures, multiple seizures.
What the Bull
Bull Mastiff, yeah, as a little baby, and I was looking forward to this giant growing up, in a household. Before she even reached 8 months or 6 months, she was already a big, just a big bulk of dog, and I could barely pick her up, but it's the best thing ever if you're a dog person.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
And you see them getting along, but now, man, hey, this poor dog just had seizure after seizure. We tried to do as much as we possibly could for her. Unfortunately, we lost her. I had to make the decision because this dog started getting like 3-4 seizures a day.
Oh no.
And we did everything that we could in our power, to hopefully give her a better life. Then the pit bull walked into our life, and my life just changed 360 in a completely different direction, because a pit bull will teach you. A pit bull will teach you a thing or two, but it all comes down to you as the dog owner. Your vibe, your energy, your intention, how you raise this dog. And I did not, pit bulls always had this reputation, and they still got, for being these killers and highly temperamental dogs, which they are. But thankfully, we brought a trainer on board, and he managed to teach us quite a bit about dog behavior in general as well. And I am still trying to learn and to find my grips with the dog.
Yeah, no, it's a challenge. I mean, I also used to have a pet. I mean, he lived until he was 15.
Wow,
15.
That's awesome.
There was one time.
Wow.
I used to have a Rottweiler mix.
Okay.
In a pit, and there was one time my wife, she was 9 months pregnant, right? And I decided, so okay, let's go for a walk. So we ordered pizza over the phone, and we went to the pizza spot to go fetch the pizza. So I ordered over the phone, so I said, might as well just take the dogs for a walk. And we were walking, I mean, her stomach is out to here. And all of a sudden, it was in the evening, because I normally used to walk the dogs in the evening, because there wouldn't be other dogs around, And this guy just jumped out of nowhere. I don't know what he smoked or what he was drinking, but the dogs went ballistic.
Wow, I can believe it, man.
Ballistic. I mean, and I was fighting. I was just telling this guy, I said, "Go away, man. Go away, go away." And he wouldn't listen. He was just kept on coming towards. I said, if those dogs had to get hold of him,
of course,
that's
because they understand you. You're their parents.
No, but they were more protective
of
my wife.
Absolutely.
And they were like right next, hip to hip.
Yes.
Hip to hip.
Yeah.
And I was like, and unfortunately now I don't have any dogs, but I would love to get another dog.
Oh yeah. I would strongly advise it. I think in general I'm an animal person, but I kind of lean more towards dogs because we have that connection and that understanding. Yeah. And I grew up with dogs. My dad had dogs, as a kid growing up. So we had poodles and everything else, pavement specials, you name them. We've had them through the years. But for me, it's just a special thing to know that you have a dog in your house
Yeah.
that kind of understands and connects with you as a family as well. And in that instance, your dog protected or stepped up to protect
Oh,
your
yeah.
wife, because that dog knows that that's a family member. And just the little that I've learned throughout the years living with the dogs, and something like a pit bull, I mean, they know, what goes on.
Yeah.
They know you as an individual. They look at you, they read you, they study you, they know your energy, they feel your energy and all of those things. And that even makes me appreciate the dog much more as well. But the thing that I've learned, just getting back to the pit bull, you always have to remind him who's the pack leader.
Yeah.
You can't let your guard
Who's the
down
boss?
for once. That was our mistake.
Yeah.
We treated him as if he was the Yorkie.
Yorkie. But
And
that Yorkie of yours is also feisty, eh?
yes, that Yorkie, in all honesty, saved my family.
Yes.
Two guys tried to break into our house. The one guy managed to come in, and his entry point would have been through the back room where my son was sleeping. And the Yorkie put on the fight with that guy. As small and tiny as he was there, he fought that guy off and made sure the guy was out again. And that was during the time when I was touring a lot. So it was only my wife, a family member, and my son in the house. And that little Yorkie, he went to war with that guy. As small as it was there. So if that was a pit bull, we know what would have happened then, So yeah, man. Exciting times. But I mean, we are currently busy with our winter run. We have registered a non-profit organization called GCAP. It stands for the Great Cape Ambassadors Program. All the work that we've done through the years with community and youth, we decided to create the organization with the hopes of raising enough funds and building partnerships in order for us to be more effective in our communities through the work that we do. But we're at the point now where we're really trying to provide food relief and comfort and assistance, especially to elderly and the orphanages in areas outside of central Cape Town City. Unfortunately, most of the aid don't reach those communities out in the Overstrand. So we've been helping in those communities for about 2 to 3 years right now. And we hope to be consistent. So we got what's called the GCAP Winter Run. All the information is on my personal pages. You can also go to GCAP as well. So this time around, we're actually asking for people to donate blankets and also to donate non-perishable food items as well. And if you're not by the means to do that and you want to make a monetary donation, any amount will do as well. So all the banking details are there as well. So if you check out my videos, right at the end of the videos, I'll give you the details. And we've arranged multiple drop-off points for people in Cape Town City to take the donations to as well. So we've got the YGN store in Wynberg. We also have Motors Ford out in Deep River. That's another drop-off point. We have Cape to Curry as well out in Lansdowne, and the one out in Monte Vista. We have the YQ Holdings out in the northern suburbs. We have, and MD Pizzas, and they do these burgers out in Colorado, Mitchell's Plain. So those are some of the drop-off points. And that's what we're trying to do, just trying to do whatever we possibly can, while we still have our spirits and our energy and our beings to assist.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely assist.
Thank you most kindly. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity as well.
No, man, thank you, man. Thank you. As I said, you always come through. You've always supported me personally with my endeavors. Because every time I asked you to do me a favor, you always pull through.
All good.
And I am going to return the favor multiple times.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming through.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
And thank you for giving us a little bit more insight on what goes on in there.
Yeah, okay.
In the cabeza.